are you, Vitaly? Mr. John Bon Jovi. I don't even know who that guy is. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know that guy. Any thoughts on Sam Altman WorldCoin? Have you heard about it
And
at all?
you can only answer using Bon Jovi lyrics.
It's
Like it was a shot through the heart.
It's like bad medicine.
Yeah, that was some really bad medicine, like your love.
Yeah, WorldCoin. Is he doing a crypto? Is this what you're saying? Another Ponzi scheme? Okay.
He's doing a crypto.
Okay,
Yeah.
what he's trying to do
Total
in a
Ponzi
nutshell,
scheme.
In a nutshell, I mean,
we don't need him to do anymore. We already have Ethereum. We have Bitcoin. We don't need WorldCoin.
I don't know if you want to bring it up, but I'll just read like the introduction. More than 3 years ago, we founded WorldCoin with the ambition of creating a new identity and financial network owned by everyone. The rollout begins today. If successful, we believe WorldCoin could drastically increase economic opportunity, scale a reliable solution for distinguishing humans from AI online while preserving privacy, enable global democratic processes, and eventually show a potential path to AI-funded UBI. WorldCoin consists, huh?
What does that even mean?
We'll drill into it. WorldCoin consists of a privacy-preserving digital identity, your World ID, and where the laws allow a digital currency, WLD, received for simply being human. Yeah, okay. So simply being human. We hope that where the rules are less clear, such as the US, steps will be taken so more people can benefit from both. Blah, blah, blah. And at the bottom, it says, WorldCoin is an attempt at global scale alignment. The journey will be challenging and the outcome is uncertain. But finding new ways to broadly share the coming technological prosperity is a critical challenge of our time. We hope you'll join us.
Does it sound attractive at all? Does it sound like cool at all? Or is
if this happens, that's it. This is it. This is like seriously game over. This is seriously game over.
But isn't this kind of your bull case for Bitcoin, that there is this global currency that everyone can use? Isn't that kind of what they're trying to do?
Yeah, but the global currency right now, yes, and that's people were sending me this thing because we talk about crypto all the time. I'm always talking about Bitcoin. So people were sending me, is this bullshit? Is this bullshit? And I'm like, this doesn't solve any problem that Bitcoin already hasn't solved. Like the idea of privacy, Bitcoin, your keys, if you have the keys, you have the freaking keys. That's real privacy. Attaching it to your
There's no privacy in Bitcoin. There's no privacy in Bitcoin. You can be tracked by the FBI. Absolutely. Right. It's on the public blockchain.
Yes, but what I'm saying is if I have my keys, I have the keys. No one's getting in there. They're my keys. I'm not saying that they can be tracked. They're not talking about illegal money. But what I'm saying is this does not solve a problem that
there's actual privacy coins. So is this supposed to be sort of like a privacy coin? When you spend something, they actually have like a tumbler and they try to hide transactions. Is this what he's trying to do?
No. Well, what he's trying to do, this is what I think he's trying to do. What he's telling people is, yes, it's going to be something that's super private and it'll be tied to some biometric data that the government captures from you. It's essentially the COVID passport. This is what they wanted to do. They wanted a biometric passport, right? And whether it's like an RFID chip that's implanted in every person, like they do.
Biometric means they take a scan of your eye, basically. That's what
or a retina scan or something to uniquely identify you to it, and then attach your financial history to it, which basically says like, hey, no one could ever rob you of your money. But what you are creating and what you're giving AI is, first of all, a global database of everyone's DNA or retina, or whatever it is. And then you're also attaching that to people's, to people's wallets, essentially. I don't think that it's necessary at all. That is one step away from what they have in China, the social credit system, which is the end. If that happens here, it's over.
Well, don't worry, Sam Altman, no one's going to use WorldCoin. That's not going to happen.
If
anything, FedCoin will win, not WorldCoin.
All he has to do is put it on the ChatGPT logo, and boom, everyone knows what WorldCoin is.
People will sign up for it because that's the other aspect of it. The whole UBI thing is the bait. The idea that you'll get some bait.
Oh well, UBI
just for being human.
In.
You're like, oh, I'm going to get paid. Yeah, I'll give you my.
I'm definitely in.
I'll give you a cheek sample.
Kris, what are your thoughts?
Do I get a T-shirt with this UBI?
Right. Right.
The whole concept of UBI seems like it would actually be really bad for society, because that I see the positives in people, what they're saying. They're like, oh, this gives people more time to be creative and do creative things. But honestly, humans, we're not built that way, in my opinion. I think if you gave me enough money to subsist, I'm not sure I'd be okay with it, but I know that there's a whole segment of the population that'd be like, okay, I just get to wake up and play Call of Duty all day or whatever, and they add no real value to this, to I guess, to the world or to society. And that's kind of like sad, because that's just wasted human potential, But I don't know.
I just want to bring up, you maybe already talked to it and I missed it, but we have an Indian Meet Kevin right to the left of us. What's going on with you and that giant TV? You have to put up some colors too.
I was trying something today.
Not KRIS, AMIT.
Oh,
he's turning it to Meet Kevin basically, but you need something on there.
I was experimenting with a bunch of backgrounds today. I don't think I'm gonna keep this. I was like testing out some stuff. And
can we see it?
I mean, no, it's just like I just go to YouTube and I like I would go to YouTube, I would type in Jerome Powell, I would pause on his picture, and then he would be there. I want to get stocks in the background for the morning open, so it's constantly, but I don't know of an app that can do that.
To do what?
To like just have ticker symbols just constantly running behind me during the market.
Okay, so you attach it to a PC, like a mini PC.
That's what I was doing. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Or is that an Apple TV?
No, it's an Android TV.
If it's whatever it is, if it's an Apple TV or Android TV using whatever the Fire Stick, you can stream like your phone.
Yeah,
you can cast it. Yeah, you can cast it. Get an iPad that's right in front of you, and whatever you're doing on that will pop up behind you.
I have an idea.
Nice.
You have a what?
There we go.
Are you gonna try to do like some Inception shit?
That's really meta of you.
He's gonna right. I actually
that's what I was gonna do. I have a second laptop. I was gonna hook it up with the HDMI, but I don't have it with me. It's somewhere else. So yeah, probably.
Yeah. Actually, related to that, I saved something that I was going to share.
But on Johnny had the best comment. Fucking hate Johnny.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
The glare is also the problem, bro, because I need the light, and if the glare is so annoying there. So
I think that's Johnny's funniest comment ever. I'm gonna give him that.
Johnny comes out with some zingers.
Real quick, Marcus says, why is the live stream still on Amit's channel? So this is by the end of August. We are officially on Finance Junkies. The only reason we're not there now is because the strike situation.
It's because of Apple. It's me and Carlos. We tried to do a live stream of Apple VR goggles, and then we realized that Apple's a fucking piece of shit company that hates its own consumers.
It's probably because you called them VR goggles. It's the Vision Pro. Okay, that's what
bro. We said nothing. We said nothing. Yeah. We had the muted. We had captions on. Like we tried everything. And Tim Cook was like in our house.
When the mods put the new link, please subscribe, because officially end of September or end of August, we're there. New channel officially. We're gonna be there full time.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be exciting. Okay, what are we gonna show, Carlos?
Okay, here it is. I'll just send you the link, and then you can play it. It's related to this. All right, here we go. Another one of my shorts, my Carlos shorts.
You find the best shorts.
I have some good ones. But check this one out. This one relates to what we just spoke about, and it relates to Chris's point about UBI.
Scary story.
Let's start from the beginning.
Local college made a. Let me tell you a scary story. An economics professor at a local college made a statement that she had never failed a single student before, but had recently failed an entire class. The class had insisted that socialism worked, that no one would be poor and no one would be rich, a great equalizer. The professor then said, okay, we will have an experiment in this class. All grades will be averaged and everyone will receive the same grade. No one will fail, but no one will receive an A either. After the first test, the grades were averaged and everyone got a B. The students who studied hard were upset, and the students who studied little were happy. As the second test rolled round, the students who studied little studied even less, and the ones who studied hard decided they wanted a free ride too, so they studied little. The second average test result was a D. No one was happy. When the third test rolled round, the average was an F. As the test proceeded, the scores never improved, as bickering, name-calling and blame all resulted in hard feelings, and no one would study for the benefit of anyone else.
Okay, so socialism doesn't work, basically.
Well, that's like
says some random person on the internet.
We are random people on the internet, VITALY, just so you know.
Well, just so you know, we are not to the 500 people who, well, not today maybe, but usually the 500
we're
people who are watching us.
The fact that they're on the internet does not dismiss.
It does. It actually does.
Saying. The point is,
but her argument makes a lot of sense. I mean,
yeah,
at the end
it's
of the
an
day, if you
argument.
equalize all that shit, there's no incentive. I mean, that's basically her point.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what something like that does. If you
That
tell
part is
people
true.
that they can get money for doing nothing, right, for being alive, then you say, okay, well then you're going to get people that will race to the bottom. I would think if they wanted to do something like that, then why wouldn't they make, say, a certain percentage of your salary transferred to shares in the S&P that have a certain term, like a 5 or 10-year term? Why not have something like that, right? Or
You know,
or like when you're born in this country, why don't you get 100 shares or whatever it is, $100 in the S&P? Then when you're 5, 6, 7 years old, when your parents want to teach you about money, they can show you, hey, since you've been born, this is what you get to participate in the GDP of the country. I just think like there's a lot of easier ways to do this than call it freedom.
Technically, being a citizen, you're already getting a piece of like the American pie by, benefiting from all the taxes and everything else. The thing is, you cannot have a situation where the government eventually becomes so influential in private companies' lives, and then it ends up being a public-private partnership, and then you end up getting the Soviet Union, right? So if you think about like economic systems in the past, you typically want to have government and private sector completely separate, because otherwise the lines can get blurry really quickly, and then it could be bad. So like, let's say right now, if the United States owns the S&P and they're the largest shareholder in a company, at that point, let's say there's an arbiter in the federal government that says, hey, listen, you're going to do this policy, otherwise we'll pull all of our money out from your company. That's bad, right? You don't want to have that.
That's kind of what happens. I mean, what we have right now, like the division between government and corporations, is the same thing as like it's like the borders that we have with other countries. If you zoom up high enough, if you get in the International Space Station, you don't see the actual dividing lines. Very few places on Earth do you see it. When you have people that are from banks that then move into the federal government and vice versa, when you have that sort of a situation, that it's all just semantics.
So I want to point out, Chris, I know what you're saying, and I think you're right, but the government does end up picking winners. So we have subsidies for oil for the last 100 years probably, and it's going to continue obviously into the future. Now the IRA has come out. We're going to subsidize solar because we want to transition, so that's going to happen too. So government is always picking winners and paying billions of dollars. Well, billions of dollars are going into those companies. Especially the military-industrial complex, picking winners. So I know we think of ourselves maybe as purely capitalistic. Maybe I don't know if anyone in the chat does, but we're not. We're a republic, and people pick winners here all the time.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's exactly why so much money is concentrated in Washington. If you guys look at how much Washington, D.C. has developed in the last 30 years, like, is it any wonder why the neighborhoods surrounding Washington, D.C. are some of the most affluent neighborhoods in the entire country? How many defense contractors live there? How many, what is that thing called, lobbyists? How much soft money is just constantly being pumped into that city? It's messed up, but at the same time, it's how we've set the system up. And I think, was it you, VITALY, or someone from our group that put on Twitter like a poll, like, how much do you want to bet that this doesn't pass or passes the new
I put
they
that
tried
up.
to the law that in like government officials couldn't trade stocks, like individual stocks, No, they'll never gonna let that.
It's like the term limits. Never gonna happen.
So what do you think is the motivation for Sam Altman to do this? Like, he's so rich. Why does he care about WorldCoin? It can't be money motivated, right? He has hundreds of millions of bucks.
It's not about him. It's not him personally making money. It's the control over it.
But why does he want control over people?
Why wouldn't you want control? You have this powerful open AI technology. You could find a way of connecting it to financial institutions. You get a bunch of biometric data on every citizen of the planet. That's incredibly. It's not even the value is incalculable. This is the thing. We tend to value things in terms of dollars. The value of that is incalculable. If you could have that information, it's beyond a monetary value. So you're essentially putting yourself in a godlike position.
Well, I want to answer this whole thing about Sam Altman. It is about money, but Amit, you should try to keep the junkies on topic more. Isn't that in the title? We're talking about the actual title right now.
Yeah, I know. Some people in the chat are
Dude,
interesting, to be
guys,
honest.
you know, it's
You
ridiculous.
got to cut us a little bit of slack, guys. Like you kind of have to caveat sometimes and nuance when you're having a conversation.
Well, that's kind of funny. But Sam Altman does want more money. I mean, he's not investing in startups and starting WorldCoin for just the public good. He's not doing that.
But he could start a crypto if he just wanted money. It's not just about money.
Yeah,
It's
I
not just
think
about money.
I don't know. Anyone who
think
starts their own cryptocurrency and doesn't just build off of Ethereum or use Bitcoin, I feel it is about money. It is strictly about money.
I think that's a lot more about influence, and
It's
this is how
more than money.
it's it's kind of strange, but also it makes sense. Like every single dictator, tyrant that's ever lived has usually started off with a message of benevolence, right? So anytime I see these like people that are like overtly benevolent, it's like, yeah, you're a fucking tyrant in waiting. You know, like I'm here to do good for society. Okay, we'll see. The only person that seems to not have done that so far is Elon, but who knows, man? Maybe one day he'll flip the script.
Actually, here's the thing with that.
Are we transitioning to Elon? Are we officially transitioning to X?
Well, before you leave Sam Altman, go ahead, Carlos. I do want to say something.
It's attached to this idea. Like everything, this WorldCoin thing is perfectly in line with what the World Economic Forum has been saying. This goes right in line with like the Great Reset, right? You digitize all the money in the world, basically have one world, and they've tried this too with like the euro. They wanted to make an Amero in the United States. I don't know if you heard about that. They wanted to have Canada, US, and Mexico have one coin, and it was going to be the one currency called the Amero, which would have effectively gotten rid of the Constitution. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen, but this seems like it's actually the end game where you have just one currency worldwide.